What is going on, traders? All right, so wanted to just make this kind of about Wyckoff and just a general idea of direction, and I'll just open up this Bitcoin stock to flow chart just to give some additional fundamental confluence with the technical analysis. As you can see right now, we're basically in this like blue area, and you can see through history as this kind of bluish area comes in, there's a bit of a pullback, a little bit of a pullback. Price just seems to kind of stall at these kind of blue phases before we get to that halving date, and price tends to rally pretty much right on cue of those halving dates. But the technical analysis in line with that as well, right? I've mentioned this in my other content, but some textbook Wyckoff structure going on, which is what I've named myself after, Wyckoff, just to play off of that. I'm a huge fan of his work, where we've got kind of a textbook change of character, which is just a big correction within the face of an upward kind of trending market here previously, right? We're just kind of trending upwards, small pullback, small pullback. Here we get a nice big pullback, right? So that's our change of character. We then have our buying climax. These can be tricky to pinpoint, but some basic price action can get you on top of that. And then we've got our auto rally, our secondary test, our sign of weakness, coming down and testing that change of character. Sometimes it'll go below though. In this case, again, some more price action going on here, just basic price action going on to rally into an up thrust after distribution. And then after that, we've got two really nice textbook Wyckoff signals, which comes later, right? You've got kind of phases here, A, B, C, D. It's in these later phases. Let me clean this up a little bit so you can kind of consider seeing this kind of like a phase A, seeing that drop and then a rally up. We got B. It's in these later phases, and especially by like phase D, where you really want to be getting involved. But the signal kind of comes in here after the up thrust, after distribution. We drop down below the auto rally, right? So I'll plot that out again here. We've got a change of character, buying climax, auto rally, very key point in the structure, secondary test, sign of weakness, our up thrust after distribution. We then drop below the auto rally and we come back up for a really aggressive, really nice signal there, testing back into the auto rally, which just again, some price we're considering a continuation of this downtrend, and we get that where it drops lower. It then comes back up, and this is really that phase D, that safer position, right? We've got kind of confirmation that we are heading that way. A really nice pullback here, back into the auto rally zone, where we continue short. And you could also consider this like a spring formation even, but not getting too heavy into that. What we have though now, kind of in real time, is in line with expecting some sideways behavior here, which even from when was this, July 15th, we've got sorry, when was this? Yeah, so this was from the original pullback of 2021, right? We're expecting sideways behavior from here, and it should be lasting well into even 2024. So we could be going sideways for some time, right? Here's 2024. So we're expecting some sideways shenanigans going on here. This is from the daily kind of macro structure. And you're trying to gauge, is this, are we going to come up higher here? Like, what is going on here? And you can see it from here, but I'll drop down to the 4-hour, just kind of a lower fractal. And we've got that exact same pattern shaping up here. We've got in this upward trend, we've got some regular little pullbacks here, and then a bit of a change of character. Buying climax, auto rally, secondary test, sign of weakness, and then an immediate up thrust after distribution, which you can consider again. And the lower the time frames you go, the more kind of complex these structures will take shape. They're not going to be as textbook, but you could really consider this the upthrust after distribution, and we could very well be considering what I'm expecting a pullback into this structure here. Likely, very likely that we come back into the auto rally kind of zone here. But at very least, my kind of targets are just a conservative like 25K to see us continue on and just kind of create those phases, right? Out of, we've got, change of character, buying climax, auto rally, thrust after distribution. And we're expecting this to kind of be like, one phase even here, one phase here. So this would be phase A, B, C, and then a nice pullback into this phase D. And it's really those, C and D where positions can lie depending on the structure, right? In this case, we had, kind of a phase C kind of sell, and it was also a sell here at phase D. In this case, I think it's just a really good risk place to be. We've got a bit of a channel to the upside that we're hoping this kind of thing snaps, and getting in on a short up here, really good risk. If it starts to rally higher, that's just a small loser with really good potential gains here, right? If we do get a drop back into what would just be the latter stages of a textbook Wyckoff structure, really nice sell position here to get us back down in here, and this would be setting up a potential much longer term, right? 2025, we're valued at over 500K. This kind of pullback here, expecting it in line with the fundamentals to see a little bit of sideways action around this point in time. It makes perfect sense for that sideways action to be happening in this kind of consolidation distribution period. I like this trade. It's an aggressive trade to try to call the top of a market, to call the end of a market. It is, in my opinion, much easier to get involved on this sideways action when it's creating things like a change of character, and you can identify and try to get in on a buying climax, right? When price starts to kind of come back down, getting back in on a drop down into a selling a sign of weakness. Really nice trade there. And then a nice trade to try to call the end of that sign of weakness that we're going to see a bit of a rally. Really nice buy position potentials all in here to just go long. Really safe long-term kind of position, which you can really build a position in here. But now I think it's time to see more of that sideways behavior come in. Textbook Wyckoff would have us coming back into at least here, likely engaging this auto rally point again before price continues higher. From this point though, you got to kind of lean on the side of the fundamentals, and we really do want to see new highs be coming in, right? We want to see this just like the fundamentals say, sideways from 2021 to 24. We want to be seeing a strong rally eventually getting us higher into 2024 before we start to break into the latter stages of 2024 and into 2025, where we're going to be seeing much higher highs coming in, right? And the fundamentals are predicting 500K. So at some point here, when we and it's typically as we're breaching those highs where we'll really see that strength come in, and price should be gapping if the fundamentals are correct, and that stock to flow chart is usually pretty accurate. We should be seeing some big candles coming in to work us up into those hundreds of thousands. But so yeah, I just wanted to update there. That's the game plan, and we're sticking to it. Happy trading out there, everybody. Stay safe. Peace.